Hello, my dear students. Welcome back in your online classes. Today we are going to study about your very important topic in English, and that is actually formal letter writings. If you remember, students, in your exam pattern, always your question paper comes in different sections, where mostly section B and C is related to your descriptive writing or creative writing. In the creative writing, basically your narrative writing letters, descriptive essays, or dialogue writing, and letter writing. These are the topics which mostly come. All of you are already aware about that how to write a letter. Whenever we write a letter to someone, there are some formalities and some greetings, date, address, and these kind of things are there which you have to follow. But we are aware that our letters are differentiated into two main parts. One is your formal letter, and second one is your informal letter writing. So today we are going to study about formal letter writing. All of you can please get a pen and paper for you so that you can write down the main headings which are required to write down a formal letter. Before I start, I just wanted to ask, what do you mean by formal? By listening just a formal word only, I think all of you are having an idea in your mind that formal means where we have to do some kind of formalities. Yes. And these formalities can be anything according to your letters. For example, right now we are studying in schools. So this is the format of your formal letter writing. Just get a pen and paper for you and write down formal letter writing, the heading. And in your previous classes, hope everyone have remembered that what are the things which you have to take care, but I am just repeating back for you. So there are two most important things when we write a letter. One is a person who writes a letter and the another person who receives the letter, right? So the one who is writing the letter, we call it sender. Sender means the one who is actually sending that letter. So basically in formal letter writing, always on the top, you're supposed to write down the sender's address. For example, I'm going to write a letter to my principal. So it means I am the sender. So I will write my address on the top. For example, my address would be, for example, you can write down Station Road, Motihari. That is my address. Thereafter, date. Date is mandatory, students. When you are talking about the formal letter writings, you have to write down the date. So today I am writing this letter. So I am supposed to write down the date like 29/4/2020, or whenever you are writing a letter, you must mention the date of that day. Now thereafter you are supposed to write down the name or the designation of addressee. Addressee means again sender. So here I am writing for example, if here the name and the designation of the addressee means whom you are writing this letter. As I said that I am writing this letter to whom? Just suppose I said that I am writing this letter to my principal. So I am supposed to write down the name Mr. Arnab Mukherjee or Mr. V.K. Prasad, anything, whatever the name you suggest, you can write down. Now the designation. After to the name, you're supposed to write down their designation on which post they are. I'm already said that I'm writing this letter to my principal. So after the name, after XYZ, you're supposed to write down principal. Now, where he is principal? I mean, there are many schools, right? DAV, St. Xavier's, Mount Literacy schools, central schools. But I am writing this letter to the principal who is in Mount Literacy school. So, after the name and the designation, after XYZ principal, I am supposed to write down the address. For example, I am writing this letter to the principal of Mount Literacy school. So, I will write down Bharolia Road, Mount Literacy school. That is the address. Salutations. Now basically these salutations are very much equivalent to greetings. And the greetings, we already aware that it can be dear sir, respected ma'am, dear ma'am. These kind of salutations can be written. And thereafter we are supposed to write down the subject. I mean, why we are writing this letter. My dear students, salutation and subject. Here if you can see the format, salutation is on the top and subject is just after the salutation. You can change it also. It means it can be interchanged. Like you can write down subject first and thereafter salutation, and you can write down the salutation first and thereafter subject. There is no such hard rule that you have to write down the greetings first only and subjects thereafter. But subject you have to mention. For example, I am writing this letter to the principal for to submit a complaint for some kind of facilities where I am not happy. So my subject would be complaint against the environment or complaint against your maths facilities. Right? Now when we have given the subject, and if after that you are writing the salutation, it means dear sir, respected sir, like this. Thereafter you are supposed to write down the whole letter. It means the whole content is to be after the subject or after the salutation. Now remember students, this whole content is divided into three parts. We call it as a main body. Why we call it a main body? Because other things are the formalities which we have done to write a formal letter. But when we are talking about the main body, it means in a main body we are supposed to write down three most important things. One is your introduction. It means you're supposed to write down the introduction. For example, after writing dear sir or respected sir, you are supposed to write down, hello sir, my name is Anita and I am the English teacher of your school. The same way you can write down, hello sir, my name is Abhinav and I am the student of class 5, 6, whatever the class you are studying in. My roll number is this. This is called your introduction. And thereafter you are supposed to write down the content. Now let me tell you what is content. Content means why you are writing that letter, the main reason behind to write that letter. So you can write down like this. Today I am writing this letter to you because I wanted to share the feedback of our maths class, where whole class wants to tell you that we are facing some issues with our smart board, and due to that issues we are unable to study in our maths class. So this is your main content, that why you have written the application. And now let me tell you about the conclusion. Okay students, let me just tell you one thing, or you tell me one thing. If you see a movie, after watching that movie, if you didn't get any conclusion means the motive, what is the you can say outcome of that whole part, that is actually called conclusion. Whenever you see any movie, any story, there must be a conclusion at the end. If there is no conclusion, it means that story, that movie is totally vague, and we never believe on vague things. So conclusion means where if you are having some kind of problem, you must give some kind of solution also, and if you are having just an issue, then also you can request to the person that they must find some solution for you, right? So in conclusion, for example, there is some issues related to the smart board, what you are supposed to write down in the conclusion. So I request, it's my humble request to you sir, kindly work on it, or kindly tell the IT department to solve our problems with our smart board, so that we can have or we can enjoy our mathematics class as soon as possible for the better results. This is called the conclusion. And once we have completed our letter, obviously you have completed the letter, and it's a formal letter writing, students, never forget that. When you have written the formal letter writing, I believe till the time you are not going to mention it, that who has written the letter, from where they have written the letter, so the designated person is not able to help you. So in the complimentary clause, you are supposed to write down just like that, that at the end, yours obediently, yours sincerely, yours faithfully, or there are many different words which you can use. There